right, viewers, good evening, good afternoon, 7 p.m. That's what time it is now, 7 p.m. You want to call it good afternoon? Call it good afternoon. I'm calling it good evening. What difference does it make? I mean, in the final scheme of things, what difference does it make? Evening, afternoon, good day, whatever. The name is Abu, A-Q Abu. I'm starting YouTube.com in the very, very near future. This is the Abu Show. So naturally, or maybe not so logically, the YouTube entrance, I cannot think of the proper terminology, would be Abu A-Q Abu, join up with each other in order to get into my YouTube. Why am I starting a YouTube? Because many, many individuals have been complaining to me, or rather have made the observation, I tried to get into your YouTube. I missed your show last week. And when can I see it again? By compiling many, many shows on the YouTube, if you miss a show, you can see it sometime in the very near future. Anytime at your convenience, you can go to youtube.com, Abu A-Q Abu. I said it rapidly because it's all bunched up together, and see possibly some of the shows you have missed. And that's what as a favor to you, nice viewers over the years who have kept me in Be Careful over the years, I'm doing this for you. A white lie. There are other reasons I'm doing this. But today I have a good guest next to me. He's going to tell you all about himself. Go ahead, Mr. Jim Hill.
My name is Jim Hill, and I'm nothing more than a poor, righteous teacher.
Humility. Humility is going to get him everywhere. If I was as humble as he is, I might have accomplished much, much more. Now, in all honesty, I wrote a book, The Power of Introspection, and the only reason that it's not achieved the success that it deserves is because I have evil forces working against me, and I refuse to lay down and die. I want to fight like a man. If I cannot die like a man or live like a man, I would much rather be dead. I mean this. And you viewers are probably saying to yourself, it's all right for you to talk, fella. You're an old man. Who cares about you, whether you die tomorrow or not? But I have seen the monks in Tibet engaging or participating in self-immolation. What is self-immolation? When China overran Tibet, the young monks, 18, 19, 20, thereabouts, pour gasoline on themselves and burn themselves alive. I've seen the Afghans, rather than give in to the oppressors, the invaders, they tie belts around the midriff and detonate them, and their bodies, pieces of their bodies have gone in different directions. Young men and young ladies are doing this. I see the young brothers in Iraq doing the same thing. And it's spreading all across the Middle East. But politics is a subject for another day. Today, I'd like to speak about education with Mr. Hill. Mr. Hill, tell him when your show comes on.
Oh,
please.
My show comes on every Saturday at 11:30 in Brooklyn on Channel 67, and it comes on at M&N in Manhattan at 3:30. If you have Verizon, you could see it, but it's basically in Brooklyn on Channel 6737.
Good. Mr. Hill, are you not an educator?
Yes, I have been teaching in the Board of Education since 1970.
That's a long time. That's longer than most of you kids out there who are looking at Mr. Hill's show have been around. And the education system is worse today than it has been the last 30, even before you got started. Why is that so, Mr. Hill?
Well, I just think that they have no understanding of our children. And what it seems to me is that our children, you can't measure them with the standardized tests, okay? There's a certain brilliance that they have that is not measurable. And you're trying to put a round piece in a square peg, okay? There are youth in the 7th grade that are reading on the 2nd grade level, okay? And the problem is that the curriculum is set up for 7th grade. And I believe that if you would just break and go into the 2nd grade, start where they're at. Start where the children have the problem, and then work with that. But there's so much that's happening to our kids because a lot of people, not understanding, blame the children for wearing their pants down low. They blame their children for negative dialogue. The young girls, they blame them for calling themselves bees, But we have to really take a deep look at that. And we have to say to ourselves, wait a minute. What are we feeding these children? These children are in a dilemma because they don't have their basics. Who is supposed to be giving these children their basics?
What does showing one dirty drawers have to do with the basics?
Well, it has a lot to it because if you just said it, basically we were told to keep clean underwears because we could get sick and go see the doctors. Remember that?
Of course.
That's the basics.
Okay.
Okay? So that's what it has to do with dirty underwears. Okay? So that's what the basics is. But there's more to the basics, and if the kids aren't taught the basics, then they're going to demonstrate the behavior that they pick up from their peers. They're learning from each other because sometimes the children are having children, okay? And we're in a situation where we have a culture of Pied Pipers, like let's say the media, for example. You have to be derogatory. You have to overexpose sexually and stuff like that because that sells, okay? However, if the children are raised on this, then what do we expect, okay? You talk about MTV. You can go on and on and on and on and on. But this is the raising of the children. They're raising our children. So we blame the children for their behavior right now.
You said they, whom are you referring to?
Well, exactly who I said. MTV.
Oh, MTV, yeah.
Okay.
The media.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm being very, very straightforward because that sells.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and the children, they're looking, and it is the TV that's mining some of them. It's the TV that is the parental care. It's the TV because it's tough out here, man. I mean, you trying to get a job, you got to work, you got to hustle. You cannot really be there for the children because they've put it through in order to pay the rent. There was a friend of yours who said the rent was too high.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I mean, but people are out there trying to pay the rent.
Yeah.
James Brown said ain't nothing happening but the rent.
Yeah.
Okay? But
and that's already spent.
And that's already spent.
Yeah.
And then you have the children that they're out there and they want a video game. They want some sneakers.
So when do they wake up to realize there's more to life than just a brand new sneakers and a video game?
When we, the elders, start taking on the responsibility of these children, when we start mentoring these children, when we start giving up some of our time and putting it back into the kids, then the kids will say, hey, listen, now there's something for me to do. I'm telling you, a kid better stay up there in his house and play that video game all day long. It's better for them to be up there than to be outside where they can get shot.
A woman called, I know I'm interrupting, but forgive me for doing this.
Please.
A woman called me up about 6 weeks ago, 4 months ago. She said that I saw your program and I was impressed with it. I'm looking for, I have 3 kids, my wife, my husband cut out, and left my 3 kids with me. I'm raising 3 kids. I'm impressed with your program. I'm looking for a mentor to mentor my kids. I mentioned your name. Did any strange woman ever call you?
No.
No. I said he's educated, 2 masters. I respect the man. She seemed to think, she spoke the term in the tone of an educated woman. So apparently she must have married I'm guessing, of course, an educated man, and he cut out anyway. So she was turned off by education. But you mentioned some of the kids are brilliant. How do you tap into that brilliance, Mr. Hill?
Well, the thing is that it is not just me, okay? The system has to welcome that brilliance. For example, they cut out music in the schools. And guess what the kids did? The kids started taking music from the old-timers, and they came up with something called hip-hop because they had no music in school, okay? They cut out art in school. The children were so brilliant that they were able to start developing what they call it, that they started writing and slogans and signs and coloring, and graffiti came all because they cut out art. So whenever you oppress the masses, always the ability rises, okay? So there's
wonderful.
So there's so much, but we have to see it. Kids like P. Diddy came out of the fact that he didn't have music in school. Jay-Z didn't have music in school. Okay, that whole generation, they thought they would kill him because they didn't have instruments, all right? Now, there's a lot to it, okay, because with the budget cuts and this and that and stuff like that, everybody is going in a certain direction.
What direction is that?
Reading and math, reading and math, reading and math, reading and math, forget about history, reading and math, forget about this, forget about that, reading and math, that's the direction, okay? But there's more to it. You're a whole individual. Yeah. You have so many things going for you. Yeah. You geography. Yeah. You know, like they're saying, and everybody's accepting it, they're saying, do you see the problem that they're having over in the Middle East, in Egypt? They're having a problem in the Middle East and Egypt. But if they knew geography, they would know that that's Africa.
Northeast Africa. That's right.
Okay? Yeah. But because this is what we're fed, this is what we believe, okay, so the Middle East is Africa.
Okay.
Okay? Now the point I'm trying to make, brother, is that there is such a big job, okay, that I believe that the only one that can really handle it is the Creator. But we...
No. I'm not attacking you. Mm-hmm. I'm not attacking you per se. And I believe in the Creator. But it seems to me there's a certain group of individuals who throws everything at the Creator and expects the Creator to solve our problems for us. And this pisses me off.
Well, brother, you need to get back to Scripture, because sometimes Scripture says that the problem is not yours, it's mine. But we can deal with it directly. I work on it every single day. I'm with the kids every single day, okay? But I give homage to the Creator because I know that sometimes the burden is too big for me, okay? But that's why I have to sit down and say, okay, now what can I do today? Okay, I look at little girls and they bring tears to my eyes because I consider myself a father. Yes, I had a whole bunch of sons. Yeah. But I'm looking at the little girls and I hear them crying out, Mr. Hill, she violated me.